onto the runway, then a left turn and a left downwind. Cessna over the threshold, coming up on the white dot, at or beyond the white dot, left turn first available. I got a high wind coming up on about a half-mile final, clear to land at or beyond. Traffic on the left face, you're following a Cessna down, low off your left. Square it up just a little bit, and then we're going to get you in. Start your descent, though. Start your descent on the base. Traffic on final, give me follow on base. Base traffic, start turning toward the numbers now. High wing coming up on quarter-mile final, take it all the way down to the green. Cessna taxiing on the green, expedite down to the next hard surface. Get me some speed, there you go, 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 go fast. This is going to be good. I got traffic on a mile final. You're following traffic ahead and to your right. High wing coming up on the threshold. Take it all the way down to the green dot.
5 Charlie Sierra, 2 mile final.
A mile final, turn north, and we're going to just make you, we're going to bring you back around. Jet traffic's coming up on about a mile and a half final. Runway 9er clear to land.
Okay, all right, let's listen up, guys. If you're on final for runway 9, I want you to offset to the left. I got a jet that's landing on runway 9. The jet's cleared to land runway 9 if you can make it. If not, just continue straight ahead. It looks like you're going around for the jet. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine.
Oh, we have one right in front of us, sir.
Dragger, let's see, what we got, a tricycle, put it down, tricycle, put it down, tail dragger, down to the green dot, then a left turn. Short final here, you cleared land on 9, all the way to the white dot, go down to the white dot. Find somebody to follow out here. Canard, just come to the runway and I might have to just send you around, that'll be fine. And for the jet, you just want to stay in this pattern or you want to go back out for an instrument approach?
Stay in a pattern, Charlie Sierra.
All right, just stay with me here for a minute. And my tail dragger, let's see, over the numbers, go down to the green. And Canard's going to have to go around. Canard, go around. And my high wing here over the runway, keep it airborne. You do not descend. You got a fast guy behind you. Do not descend. There you go. Keep it airborne. As soon as the guy behind you gets slowed down, I'm going to put you down. So keep it airborne. The one that just passed the white dot, make a left turn on the hard surface. All right, my high wing tail dragger, you can put it down now. And Charlie Sierra, let me get you about a mile off. Let's see, Charlie Sierra, I lost. There you are. Make a left-hand turn. I'll try to resequence you here on the downwinds. We'll see how it looks. Short final, you're clear to land runway 9 on the white dot. There you go. And the tricycle left on the hard surface and follow the flagman. Welcome. Thanks for being part of the show. And let's see, just find somebody to follow on the final, and as you get close to the runway, if it's not going to work, we're going to send you around and then try to re-sequence you. Now, who else got sent around that's not back on the downwind? The Canard?
Yeah, Canard.
All right, Canard, there's a Gulfstream up there that went around too. I just lost sight of him, but you're going to make kind of a left-hand turn and stay low. I think Charlie Sierra, what's your altitude?
3,200.
Okay, that'll be fine. Just maintain VFR. I don't know what else is up there above you. Probably most everybody's down here, so just make a left-hand turn. We'll try to get you back here.
Canard's got the jet in sight.
Okay, the RV, maybe an RV-10, whatever, here on final. Keep your speed up and go all the way down to the, aim for the green dot for me. Actually, keep your speed up. There's a guy behind you. Aim for the green dot, and I'm sure that's plenty of room for you to land on runway 9. You're clear to land on runway 9. Number 2, you're going to go down to the white dot. Follow the white dot. Actually, you know what? That's 1,500 feet. You're going to land at the white dot. The spacing looks adequate here. 2 guys on final. You're kind of tight there. Keep each other in sight, and you're going to aim for the white dot. If it's not going to work, we'll come up with a plan B. We might have to send you around. The second guy behind you out there in about a 2-mile final. Are you slow enough to be able to follow that guy in front of you? You need to go around.
Yeah, follow.
Well, I probably shouldn't ask that because I had about 5 guys answer me, so I should know better than that. After 35 years, you would think, right? All right, so let me see. The guy who's number 1, it's number 1. What kind of airplane is he? An RV type. All right, RV type. Keep it airborne for me. Keep it airborne. And I got a fast guy behind you. The number 2 guy over the trees there. Go ahead and put it down on the numbers. My first guy just coming up on the numbers at the over the grass at the numbers. I want you to keep it.
T-minus 1 minute and counting.
Hello. Four, three, two, one.
Hello, Hello and welcome everybody to this Thursday evening. As you can see, it's a little bit different because we haven't got Johnny, or we have got Johnny, but he's just looking a little bit different. It's got to be Philippe, Polman,
sorry, guys.
From Echelon Air. Johnny's gone off to I don't know, a wedding or something or other. I don't know. Anyway, why are we talking about that? The most important thing is they've got a website. Yes, we have, and it's amazing, and we love it. And have I told you that we got a website? No, we had a few issues with it.
Somebody's excited, hey?
And Dave's better as well. He was off ill. Was it last week you were poorly, Dave?
Yes, yeah, away with COVID.
COVID, yeah. And yesterday you kind of managed yesterday, but you're still a little bit kind of like croaky, or maybe that's just the way you are. Or was that cranky? I can't remember.
A bit of both, probably.
Bit of both. Anyway,
he's had dinner now, so he's doing okay.
Yeah. Welcome everyone. Welcome, Philippe. That's a mighty impressive plant you've got in your office there, Philippe.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm still at work. I wish. I was telling the guys earlier. So we don't have an office in my house, but we do have a guest room. And so my wife had this great idea. She goes, "Why don't we buy some plants in the COVID? You know, everybody's doing their Zooming. So why don't we buy some plants, put them in? Now it looks like an office. So voila, there's your fake plastic plant. Make it look like an office."
Oh,
This is
convincing.
This is a real office, not a bedroom, and
it's real books.
Real books and no plants. Must get myself some plants. Anyway. Where's my little mouse? That is so. I need to thank our sponsors, SkyDemon, makers of SkyDemon app. Obviously, if you don't know that, where have you been? If you haven't tried it, go download a copy from the Google Play Store or the App Store. Give it a go for 30 days. It's free. See what you think of it. And here is the top tip for this week.
Hi, I'm Tim from SkyDemon. Welcome to today's top tip. Sometimes you might want to find an airfield based on what sort of fuel it has or the price of the fuel. Press Find a Destination and then switch to Fuel Availability here. I'm going to hide this and zoom out a bit so we can see lots of information. You can see here we've got Avgas 100LL turned on, and all these places on the map that have the fuel are shown with little speech bubbles. The cheapest prices are in green and the most expensive prices are in red. If you want, you can turn on UL91 as well, and you'll see those additionally highlighted in the speech bubbles. For more information on any of our features, go to skydemon.aero and choose Help and Support.
Do you think there's a premium edition of this where you can click on the prices and just alter them? It's like, how much would you like to pay?
It would be nice, wouldn't it? It would be nice. However, there is a serious point to that, which is they crowdsource their information. So if you bought any fuel recently, make sure you go onto SkyDemon, assuming you use SkyDemon, and put in the price, because that keeps it up to date for everyone, and we can all look and figure out how much it is. I think it started to come down a bit, hasn't it? Although I did go somewhere today where it was still £2.44 a litre, I think it was, which is
wow,
a little bit painful and punchy, isn't it? But there you go. You can't see it out there, but Simon is not with us. He was kind of like, he wasn't sure if he was going to make it, not going to make it. He's been flying this week. He's finished his circuit consolidation. He's off on Nav next, and clearly will be using SkyDemon if he's got any sense for that. But he didn't make it after all. He did, however, send a video. It's slightly longer than usual, mainly because we got a 4-day forecast because it's Easter. So new website and 4 days off. What could be better? Here we go.
Hi everyone, hope you're all well. Sorry I can't be with you this evening, but hope you're looking forward to your Easter weekend. It's not looking bad actually for flying this weekend. It's a bit messy at times, but it could be a lot worse. This is the forecast for tomorrow, for Good Friday, and what we've got is fronts out towards the west of the country. These bringing some low cloud, some drizzle across parts of Ireland, later on to southwestern parts of Wales, to southwestern parts of England. A little bit of low cloud too affecting northeastern parts of Scotland. I think that continues on and off through the day, but for most of us it looks generally quite fair. Broken cloud, some morning mist and fog patches, and then eventually I think base is probably at around 3,000 feet, tops about 6,000 feet. Although you see here on the cloud ceiling ceiling forecasts that over Wales, southwest England, parts of Ireland, we're seeing bases a little bit lower at around 2,000 to 4,000 feet. The red colours on there, by the way, indicating bases below 500 feet. Then for Saturday, again, some morning mist and fog patches in central and eastern areas, but generally not bad. I think we're going to be looking at bases typically of around 3,000 to 4,000 feet for most of us. That cloud going to be well broken as well. Top is about 7,000 to 8,000 feet. Always more cloud affecting western Scotland, western Wales and southwestern England. But again, you see here on the cloud ceiling forecast, the green colour showing us bases above 2,000 feet. So not bad generally. Far western parts of Ireland seeing some cloud associated with the fronts you see moving in there. That bringing some rain. But overall, that's not a bad day. Maybe a little bit hazy at times. For Sunday, not bad again. Morning mist and fog patches clearing away. Then rather hazy, I think, for most of us through the course of Sunday. But bases again, 4,000 feet. Tops about 6,000 feet. Fronts moving eastwards through Ireland into western parts of Scotland, bringing some rain at times. That front weakening as it heads eastwards overnight into Monday, but maybe enough perhaps to bring some showery outbreaks of rain with it by close of play Sunday across parts of Wales, southwest England and northwest England too. Bases associated with that probably about 1,000 feet, tops of about 10,000 feet. So worse in the west, but generally for most of us, it looks as if conditions shouldn't be too bad at all. And then because it's a bank holiday weekend, this is the forecast for Monday. Front moves eastwards overnight, and it's that one that gets stuck across East Anglia in the southeast. Uncertainty over exactly where this is on Monday, but at the moment I'm favouring that sort of East Anglia, southeastern part of England area. Probably looking at bases on this of around 2,000 feet. Tops, I think, probably by then at about 7,000 feet. Bits and pieces of rain along it. Visibility reduced to around 4 or 5 kilometres because of it. But behind it, across most of Scotland, northern England, the Midlands, southern parts of England and Wales, here we're going to be finding much better conditions. Bases 3,000 feet, tops at about 10,000 feet with fresher weather overall. Heavy showers moving into the west of Scotland, across Ireland as well in the afternoon. Worst of them are always going to be across western Scotland where it'll be windy too. But generally, again, Monday, as you can see there, not looking too bad a day overall. So I think it's a weekend to make the most of. Looks like it's going to present us with some decent opportunities to get out there and get flying. Now, if you want to be able to forecast the weather better yourself, spot weather windows 5 days in advance and just build your confidence in being able to forecast the weather. Get yourself along to Aviation Weather School Part 1. I've got my next course on the Saturday mornings of the 14th and the 21st of May between 09:30 and 12:30 hours. It's presented entirely live online, and actually after each of these sessions you get a week to watch a recording of the session as well, just to go back and make sure that you haven't missed anything, or perhaps just run over anything that you may have missed. Got a few places left at the moment, so if you go to weatherschool.co.uk, you can book your place now. It'd be fabulous to see you there. So I wish you a very happy Easter. Have a great flying weekend. Hope you can get up there, and most importantly of all, fly safely. Keep the sun shining, and bye for now.
Didn't quite hit the button quickly enough. Believe it. I don't know. Someone needs to fire their producer, I think. But anyway, so it looks like a decent weekend's weather. Good bit of flying.
Make the most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll be talking about that, no doubt, in our Fly 2022 minutes in 2022 coming up shortly. But first, the news. Dave, you can lead off with the news. I'm going to try and add this to the stream while you talk about this.
Well, those of you who have been following this saga know that the new Flyer website has had a difficult birth, but we're now there on Monday. It came out kicking and screaming, giving us a few problems right to the end, but now it's there. It's pretty much all working. We're very pleased with it, because one of the big things we've tried to achieve was what's called a single sign-on. So if you sign on at the forum, you sign on to the whole site. If you sign on at the main page, homepage, you sign on to everything. So that was actually the most difficult thing to achieve. But we've done that, or rather our team has, our tech team has, and we're very pleased, because one of the big thing about this is going to be the future hub for all Flyer activities. So all of our content's going to be there, and there's lots of great content there at the moment. It's all visible according to whatever device you view it on. You should be able to see it. Obviously, it's best on a big desktop computer with a big screen, because then you can see Ed's fantastic photographs and really, really enjoy it. But it also works on mobiles. So if you're at the airfield killing a bit of time, as people tend to do, you can call up the Flyer website and read all sorts of things. So for the first 4 weeks, we're aware that there may be a few bugs still around the site. We keep finding one or two things that we've got on a list, a snag list. So for the first 4 weeks, we're calling it a beta version, and it's open to everybody to go in and read it and find their way around it. The only bits that are closed off to people who aren't Flyer Club members is the actual Flyer Club area. So you can't get to the landing fees and the other Flyer Club benefits if you're not a Flyer Club member. But everyone else, otherwise it's all there to be enjoyed by everybody. After that 4 weeks, then it all changes. The gate comes down, or the paywall, call it, and then you have to be a member of the Flyer Club to get access to everything. If you're a member of the Flyer Club, you've got access to all areas anytime you like, eat as much as you like. We'll have 2 other levels, which are, you can have a look on the website and see what they are. One's basic, otherwise it's free, and you can get a certain amount for that, and you've got to register. And the other one is a middle one in between, which we're calling Reader, which is for those people who want to read the content, but perhaps they're no longer an active pilot and don't need to take advantage of the Flyer Club benefits, if you like. So we're super happy about this. I cannot overemphasize how happy we have to get this done, because it has been a very difficult process, and it's the future for Flyer.
Absolutely. A couple of housekeeping things for people who've asked questions. If members of the club out there have gone to the landing fee vouchers and they find there's no name on it, because each of the landing fee vouchers says for use exclusively by Joe Bloggs or whoever, you just need to go to your profile, which you'll see in the top right, click on that, and then there'll be 2 boxes. Fill in your name, Mickey Mouse, whatever. No, don't do Mickey Mouse. Click save, and that will appear on your landing fee voucher from there. Another thing is the forums are there. They're up and running. They're running quite fast, which we're very happy with. But we haven't yet enabled BB code, which means there's a whole load of things like bold, italic, pictures, and all sorts of other bits that aren't working on there at the moment. Nothing's lost. We just haven't enabled it yet. The integration of the forums was one of the main challenges of the final birth, and there was I was going to say all 4 of us. Philippe wasn't there for the birth.
Nope.
It was Johnny was. It was like all 4 of us, plus a whole bunch of other teams, with this kind of like forceps trying to pull this website into existence, and it finally came out kicking and screaming. But in order to make that happen, we had to switch off some of the things like BB code and other bits and pieces, which we're reintroducing. So we've got a whole snag list that we're working through over the next 3.5 weeks, I guess, nearly 4 weeks now. So so great. So if you haven't joined already, please join. It will be much cheaper now than it will be after 4 weeks. You'll save yourself a whole bunch of money.
Crispin Horsfield's got a question. What's the best email address to send website comments and suggestions to?
Crispin, if you send those to me, and I think Crispin, I'm pretty sure you've already sent one in that we are looking at and working on. I seem to remember related to 4 red lines that you'd seen, not on the website, but on a piece of software that you use. So we are working on that. But if you send me an email, which is ICS, so India Charlie Sierra @sega.aero, I'll take a look at it and pass it on to the correct people. I currently pay something, sorry Johnny, per quarter. Can I easily upgrade that to the annual subscription? You can. Probably best thing, to be honest, everyone who's got an existing subscription, we've given everybody another year at the current rate. So your rate, you don't have to do anything at all, and you will benefit from the current rate for the cheaper rate, if you like, for the next year anyway. So you don't have to do anything. But if you do want to do something, then give us a shout and we can make that happen. But you don't need to do anything. And we'll write to you in a year's time or so and say, things are changing. But for now, you don't have to do anything. So
the low rate to club members is our way of saying thank you for your support. So
if I change the name of the profile to my mate's name, can he use the name? Yeah, of course. But why would you do that? Why don't you just say to your mate, don't be tight. join yourself.
Yes.
Because otherwise, if only one person joins and gives everything to all of their mates, what will happen? Well,
exactly. I meant to click on that one. Mark Saunders says a load of
screen will be blank.
That.
Yes, that's the plan, Mark. Hopefully there are, and that's all linked to the BB code thing, so I'm told. And if you send the comments to me, I will pass them on to the right people, because frankly, I won't be the person doing the coding and stuff like that, because that would be a disaster, and we'd still be waiting about another 10 years for that birth to happen, if then. Anyway, so there you go. Thank you, Dan.
That's a good clarification, Dan.
Even bigger bargain, 30 quid.
That's a good clarification.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me say, as not a part of the Flyer team, I've been hearing about this new tech upgrade at Flyer for maybe even 12 months, going on 12 months, maybe 15 months. And so, massive congratulations to you guys for pulling this off. My favorite bit of this website, if I may say so, is that there's no ads.
We're working on that.
I'm just saying, Dan Smith, get your mate to buy 3 subscriptions, and we can keep it just as it is.
Yeah, we'll have to get everyone to buy 3 subscriptions if we're to try and live without ads.
Yeah, on a serious note about ads, there was a time in the past, which some people may remember, where we had programmatic ads. So we had Google filling up our ad inventory with whatever ads that they felt they ought to pitch up their best, which led to some kind of interesting thing. And some people going, why am I being served an ad for, I don't know, incontinence pads or something? It may well be because they've been Googling incontinence pads. Who knows how that works? But whatever. So we dump those. We don't have those anymore at all. And we will have to have some ads, and the ads we have will be high quality ads from trusted partners and relevant to you. But the business model is changing, and the business model for most publishing is changing. There will be a paywall, and so the more. We don't want to, at the moment, frankly, we are pretty reliant on advertising to survive, but we don't really want that to be the way going forward, because the advertising world, it has its fluctuations as well. So there you go. There will be some advertising, but it will be appropriate advertising to you, Philippe. Not saying that you weren't the one who emailed me about incontinence pads. That's okay.
No, please don't put me in that category.
No.
All you need to know is that we'll always deliver high quality ads to go with the high quality content. We won't be one of those sites that serves you clickbait. Yeah,
don't you just hate that when you Google something and then you get just stuff served all over the place? Go away! Horrible stuff. We won't do that to you. So anyway, next piece of news. Because we could talk all night about the website, given that it's taken us 18 freaking months to deliver the bloody thing.
Apparently, Ed gets ads for undercarriage trousers.
that's true, actually. So, Learn to Fly Guide. Clearly, everybody here is a pilot, but if you're not a pilot and you know somebody who wants to be a pilot, make sure they go and get the Learn to Fly Guide. You can get the Learn to Fly Guide by following the links on the forum. You can find all of the material in the Learn to Fly Guide as beautifully presented features on the forum, or you can go and read the page-turning PDF on Issue, and we'll soon be able to download it directly from the site as well. But you can also read all of the content on any platform on the forum, which is probably the best way to do that. So make sure you tell all of your friends who want to learn to fly to go and get a copy of the Learn to Fly Guide and learn to fly, because we need more pilots. So
on the website, on the website, not just the forum.
Did I say the forum?
Yes. It's the whole website. I
apologise.
Yeah,
I apologise. It's on the website. It's not on the forum. It's on the website. The forum is part of the website.
That's it.
You'd think I'd know that by now, wouldn't you?
I put a link in the comments, and don't forget, all the content that's in the PDF page turner Learn to Fly Guide is beautifully laid out as individual stories to consume on the website.
Yeah,
absolutely. Right. So the next piece of news, Ed, this one's yours. This was breaking news this morning, wasn't it?
It was breaking news this morning, and if you watched the live stream extra yesterday, I said that there was some hot news coming for today, and that was that the LAA has announced that there will be an event on the 2nd to the 4th of September. It's not a rally replacement; it's what they're calling their grassroots rally. Obviously, we heard last week there had been news in the LAA magazine that there wouldn't be an LAA rally at Sywell, and that left LAA seeking a new venue to hold an event. And they did say keep the dates free. So that's going to be at Popham this year in Hampshire. So 2nd to the 4th of September. It's a joint venture with Popham Airfield, and it will continue the theme of recent LAA rallies at Sywell, but making more of an emphasis on a social event, bringing flyers from around the UK and Europe to meet fellow enthusiasts. But LAA is kind of calling it a slightly more intimate event. LAA points out the grass runways at Popham and the airfield's rural ambience will mean the event will focus on the fly-in and social element as much as the large exhibition campus. So it's not the LAA rally, but it will be the LAA grassroots event, and 3 days of activity. That'll be great. Popham's got a great reputation for having, another big event like this, the Microlight Trade Fair. So this could be really good.
Yeah.
How about you, Philippe? You're going to pop along to not the LAA rally, the LAA grassroots rally?
The grassroots rally. Well, it depends what aircraft I have in my fantasy hangar by that point, but I think a Husky might do, right? Can a Husky go in there with confidence?
Husky should be fine at all. And if you would like a little bit of LAA baiting and you'd like to see them twitch a little bit next time you're talking to Steve Slater or anyone else from the LAA, just say to them, so the LAA rally, it's going to be at Popham. No. It's the grassroots rally. So remember, it's the grassroots rally. It's not the rally.
Flying. Grassroots flying. They're very keen not to use the word rally.
Grassroots flying. It's the grassroots flying. Okay. I'm going to get some T-shirts made. It's the grassroots flying. Don't forget.
Will the grassroots rally holding point still be Pittsford? If you go to Pittsford, you can at least be guaranteed a nice long procession to Popham. But I'm guessing no.
No, probably not.
No. Dave, tell us about Tecnam's brand new, similar-looking aircraft.
Yeah, well, Tecnam today announced that they're going to be revealing a new training aircraft at Aero Friedrichshafen at the end of April. They've called it the P-Mentor, not the Tormentor, the P-Mentor. And the idea being that it's a pilot mentor. It's an aircraft. It looks quite like some of the other Tecnams out there, such as the 2002 and also the A-Star. But it's an all-new aircraft apparently, and it's going to be capable of delivering a private pilot's license (PPL), instrument rating, and also upset recovery training (UPRT). It's the idea behind it. It's the all-in-one training aircraft that flying schools might need. It's powered by a Rotax 912 engine. It's got a bunch of features such as a variable pitch prop, autopilot. It's also got a simulated retractable gear control, so that anyone training for going into the airlines or whatever, or some kind of professional pilot needing to get used to raising the undercarriage or dropping the undercarriage, there's a simulated method, and it's also got a ballistic whole aircraft recovery parachute. So it's a very well equipped aeroplane. The Tecnam says it's all new wing that allows it to pass the latest EASA CS23 requirements for low speed and stall characteristics. And it is actually type certified already. I mean, Tecnam said it'd be type certified on the 7th of April. So it's a ready to go aircraft. Inside the cockpit, it's got Garmin avionics, which a lot of aircraft have got at the moment. But it looks a very straightforward, nice looking airplane.
It looks a lot like the Astor.
It does.
Which in itself looks similar to the Sierra.
Yeah.
But the name.
Yes.
Claire B nailed it. Nice aircraft, silly name.
Silly name. I just call it the Tecnam Mentor, but not P-Mentor.
Well, yeah.
It's like Philippe, you've got young kids, haven't you? Did you have to be a P mentor to them when you were? Is that like a potty training term?
I think, yeah. I still am, by the way, but yeah. I have my own fleet of P mentors.
So we also got a press release from Tecnam a couple of days before that, saying that at Friedrichshafen they were going to announce something astounding that was going to be a new dawn for general aviation.
Which we're kind of hoping that's going to be connected to their hybrid work the H3PS project, the work that they did with Rolls-Royce and Rotax. And hopefully it won't just be, hey, we've created the P-Mentor.
I'm hoping that it's not the P-Mentor, yeah. You know, great aircraft though it may be, I'm not entirely sure. I'd call it the new dawn for German aviation.
No.
Anyway,
No.
there you go. There you go.
Good job.
Next story. Oh, next story. Philippe, this is you.
Oh,
This is much more exciting.
I am quite excited about this. Is this are you going to hit roll?
No, I'm gonna let you talk first, and then I'm gonna play the video.
Oh, okay, because the video is pretty cool and it kind of announces it. But so J&B Aircraft has this. They're the producer of the VL3, the retractable Rotax powered airplane, fastest two-seater, is it, or fastest ultralight on the market, however they announce it or sell that one. But so they announced this week the VL3 turbine, which is powered by a Turbotech. It's a regenerative turbine that takes the hot exhaust air through a heat exchanger to put warmer air through the turbine, get more power, more fuel efficiency. So right now the engines are rated at 160 horsepower, burning around 19 liters an hour, according to the marketing speak. But really cool. You get all the benefits in the VL3 of a turbine engine, right? So it's smoother, it's easier engine management, the FADEC control, this kind of thing, less vibration. But you have the operational costs of a piston. So yeah, it's a cool initiative and a cool pairing.
And did you say 90 liters or 19?
19 liters per hour in a turbine. Yeah,
that's very
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Should we roll the video?
Definitely.
Yeah, hit it.
A short video for you.
Wow. I think you forgot to mention the coolest thing, Philippe, is that it sounds like a turbine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true too.
On startup. When it flies over, it sounds a bit like a Hoover as it vanishes.
I was going to say, you said it sounds like a vacuum cleaner earlier.
That's right. Yeah, it still sounds like a vacuum cleaner.
We're off to Friedrichshafen, and we'll be bringing you Friedrichshafen coverage sponsored by Continental Aerospace Technologies, and we'll go and see those people and go and see if we can't sit in the airplane, talk to them about the turbine, and find lots of cool things out about it. So
I wonder how much money that's going to cost.
That's one of the questions that I think we will ask. Yeah. How much is that going to cost then? Because I suspect it's punchy.
But that is uber cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And the turbo engine or turbine engine also has twice the TBO of the Rotax 915. So it's a 3,000 hour TBO at the moment. So if they get that on that airframe, then maybe the cost of the engine itself, could be a little bit higher, and it's offset by the higher TBO.
Yeah. If they release the power output yet, do you know?
Oh no, yeah. Well, the Turbotech has. I read 100 kilowatts, but that doesn't seem right. Don't quote me on that.
100 kilowatts is probably, that's what, 140, 160k. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that it's going to be more than 160k.
I would guess so. That might.
We will ask the question, and we will bring it to you live from. Well, maybe not live. We'll bring it to you almost live from Aero. So you never know.
Yeah, that would definitely be one to watch out for.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to play around with a turbine? Great. Next story, a little quick story about Pipistrel. Pipistrel and the Velis Electro is being trialled by the RAF under the Pathfinder series. They've got 3 different phases to it. One of them seems to be flying from Damon's Hall. One of them's flying as part of the evaluation fleet. And phase 3 is getting some important VIP people involved. I'm not entirely sure what the point of that is, but I guess it's the political world to go by it. Yeah, Claire B out there in the comments probably knows a little bit more about it than we do, but may not be able to say. Who knows? But yeah, that's kind of interesting. You've got to start somewhere, haven't you? I'm not entirely sure what role it would perform for the RAF, but they are. I am. I think the role for the RAF. Sorry.
I think it's probably going to be the replacement for the Typhoon, perhaps.
I think so. No, I think its role is to be able to greenwash RAF Aviation and say that we're carbon neutral or something.
Well, don't the Red Arrows need new aeroplanes, don't they? So 9 of those, maybe?
I heard they were making a stealth version. That's just what I heard in the rumor, the Twitter mill.
Oh dear. Dave Thatcham.
Thatcham, yes, Thatcham Research has taken over at Gamston Airport. We knew it was happening, and they've now completely signed a deal, and they've started to announce a few of their plans. I had a quick discussion with their chief technical officer earlier this week, and they're pushing the line that they're very keen about what's happening to work at Gamston. They have a team of young engineers, who up till now have been doing testing at Upper Hayford, which is a fairly deserted, huge airfield. And yeah, it's not a great place to be in the middle of winter, when you're the only people there. So they've been going up to Gamston, and they've really enjoyed the buzz of being at a busy airfield. And they've got a cafe, it's got flying going on, there's people around, so it's a much more enjoyable place for the guys, the technical teams at Thatcham Research to work. They also weren't shying away from the fact that they're going to be putting in lots of work this year. They're going to be rebuilding, resurfacing the taxi ways and the perimeter track. The bits of the runway are going to be a bit changed as well. So there is going to be some disruption this year. They were trying to say that they're going to work at it and work with the pilots, and nobody should really be displaced from what's going on. I have heard since then from a couple of people who are based there with a slightly different point of view. One chap pointed out that yes, it's a surprise. One chap pointed out that they've been asked to insure anybody who's based in the hangars, got their aircraft in the hangars, been asked to come up with £5 million worth of liability insurance, which is quite a lot and quite expensive to get, and that's put a few people off. And there's a few other people who are not happy with the way that the disruption this year will affect everyday flying. I mean, there's quite a few businesses based there who may not be able to do what they usually do. However, I think we have to give Thatcham Research a chance. They're putting money into the airfield. Lots of airfields don't make money without some form of other business, and this is probably one of the less onerous businesses to work with. One of the things that did kind of come out of the conversation I had with the chap from Thatcham was that they are funded by the insurance industry, and the insurance industry has a low level of acceptable risk, if you like, hence possibly why they've put up the liability amounts. And they also work through lots of committees and structures and meetings and things like that. So you can guess. I guess that means that things don't happen very quickly. But you have to see. Give them a chance. See what happens.
Okay. Thanks. So just a quick update here. It has just gone 8 o'clock, so we're running a little bit behind. So we're going to have to ramp up the news thing here. Stop wibbling, Ian. Talk to the next thing. What's the next story? Actually, it's a bit of a sad story. Aura Aero down south of France lost an integral R yesterday with the loss of 2 of their pilots, unfortunately, which was a bit of a tragedy for that program, which seemed to be doing extremely well. So bad news there. Very, very sad. Philippe, you got a quick update on some Leeds drone?
Yeah. So this week, Leeds Bradford announced a partnership with Urban Airport for to explore the creation of manned and unmanned, what they're calling a vertiport. So Urban Airport is already nearing completion of one at Coventry. So they have a track record already, and seemingly quite well funded. And so Leeds Bradford looking into the future rather than the past, seeing what can be done with manned and unmanned vertical takeoff vehicles. They're talking about using it as a delivery port for the Leeds area for package delivery. Exciting.
Yeah. Ed, a quick Sun and Fun roundup.
I did. I guess the quickest Sun and Fun roundup I can give you is to tell you that we've just got a great report in from Rod Simpson, who was there. There's a story online that I can put in the comments, which will make it super easy for me. So click on that and read that in fabulousnewflyer.co.uk fashion. There's some cool. There's a few new aeroplanes. There's the Super Patriot, which is a bit like an kind of uber high tech Cub, which you can check out. There's more on the TBM 960 that we told you about last week. Plus a Scalebirds P36, which is a half-scale Curtiss fighter with 124 horsepower, 7-cylinder Werner radial, top speed 130 knots. Anyway, check out the link I've put in the comments, and that'll take you straight to Rod's report.
Very, very quick one from me. Last weekend we had Pilot Careers Live, which took place at London Heathrow. Great event, really good, really well attended. Really enjoyed that. Lots of people going. Good buzz going on there. We had PCL TV shooting the whole day, and those videos, if they're not up already, will be up very shortly. So you'll be able to go and watch all of those. And a quick shout out to Jordan Butcher. We did a quick live stream, and I kind of laughed, and he said, "Hey, if you're coming along to the show, make sure you bring the presenters chocolates or wine." And Jordan Butcher actually turned up with chocolates. So what a top chap! He's going to go far.
Awesome.
He is going to succeed. If Jordan Butcher applies for a job, give him the job. Give him whichever job you want.
That looks like a good selection of chocolates. They didn't make it. They haven't made it out to the Flyer staff.
No, you're right. They haven't, unfortunately.
Working from home, Ed. Everybody's working from home.
Everybody's working from home. Yeah. And last bit of bad news for the news. Although you can, I'm sure Dave will probably talk about it later. There was going to be a fly-in this weekend at Easter in Scotland. Easter at Easter, that has had to be cancelled. They had basically torrential rain, and Easter is now looking very wet. So wet Easter at Easter, loads of rain. Unfortunately, that's off. David Eads, who's probably in the comments if he's not up, sponging his runway up as we speak, was in touch earlier in the day. So no Easter at Easter, I'm afraid.
I've not seen him in the comments. I can only guess he's out there with the squeegee.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Probably needs the ones that have at Wimbledon for that kind of thing, don't they? So now, traditionally, it would be a time for our guest, but our guest is actually a guest presenter this week, Philippe Polman. I wonder if I can make him go bigger. If I just swap you.
I don't think anybody wants to see me bigger.
Yeah, you can. We've made a big Philippe.
There you go.
Yo.
Philippe. So this is Philippe Polman from Echelon Air. We decided to get Philippe along because he's a good chap. He's a bit of an aviation enthusiast, runs a company at Biggin Hill called Echelon Air. And when he heard about Fly 2022 minutes in 2022, he offered a price of £2,022 worth of aviating with Echelon Air for the winner, which will be announced at the end of the year when we've been through it all. So, Philippe, as is traditional, give us a very, very quick intro into who you are, where'd you come from, what'd you do, how'd you get into flying, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure. So, I started Echelon Air a couple of years ago, and we're a Cirrus training center based at Biggin Hill, but we do training throughout the UK, and we do FAA and CA training, the full gamut of it, whatever is required. We also do aircraft management, so for mostly light turbines and mid-sized turbine aircraft, so small business jets, and then also do aircraft sales, so helping clients step up from piston into the turbine world. So we have, if you follow me, I'm on Pilot Polman on Instagram, and you'll see a lot of horrible photos of me flying around in TBMs and Vision jets. It's a rough life, but somebody's got to do it. So,
like that one, you mean?
Oh, here we are. Yeah. Sometimes I even have people with me.
Yeah. Is that the Batmobile version of the Cirrus jet?
It's pretty cool. No, it's a great design. Yeah, that's a custom design from one owner. Yeah.
So is this a standard fitment? I mean, I've flown an SF50, but I don't recall this part of it.
Well, so snacks are critical to flying. It's very important. You can see the Pringles, obviously a known winner, and then wine gums, my personal favorite. Yeah, and beef snap sticks. I don't know if you know what beef snap sticks are. That was on a trip back up from Cape Town in South Africa. So classic South African luxurious snack.
I'm with you on the 7-Up and the wine gums. I am curious. The Pringles tin, is that sealed? Because it looks like it's beginning to bulge at the top.
Yeah. No, that's still due for opening.
Yeah.
I think you probably need to have a word with yourself for buying original Pringles. I mean, is it not? Is sour cream not the flavour that all
sour
Pringles
cream?
should be?
Sour cream.
What?
No.
Who eats the sour cream? If anything, it's the barbecue ones, surely.
Yeah. Richard Kennedy says, I think my dog eats those chews in the middle.
I think it's sour cream and chives.
So do I, though, Richard. Sorry to say. I love them.
So then there's this picture, which doesn't look that warm to me.
No. That was actually on the same trip from Cape Town. We flew Vision Jet back up to the UK, and then we flew it across to the US. So that's a picture of Iceland coming in into Reykjavik there. A very snowy image.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can't have it sunny every time you fly, right? It would spoil the fun on the sunny days.
Too right. So, are you close to your 2022 minutes so far? It's about 34 hours. I would hope that you're probably beyond that, aren't you?
So I'm a little bit beyond that, but I'm in the business, so you'll be forgiven if you're not. Yeah, I'm closer to probably in the vicinity of 11,000 minutes. Yeah, it's a little bit higher than that, but I'll tell you, a trip down to Cape Town and back, it definitely adds some flight time to the logbook. So yeah, but who's counting, right? Who's counting? I hope you guys all are.
We're all counting because it's 2022. So I'm gonna sneak in there with a little picture of mine, which wasn't Cape Town, but I actually managed to go flying today. I had a quick 15-minute flight to reposition my aircraft to its nice new home here.
Luxurious wood paneled hangar.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a nice little flight, and I believe that Ed has been busy uploading pictures from readers for their stuff so far. So I don't know if they've joined us. So we got a picture here. Which
I can tell you. So we asked Johnny put a request out on Facebook for members to share some of their pictures from their 2022 time building. Tim Cook sent us this one. He said, I flew to Leeds East last week for lunch in the Europa. He said, I've done about 25 hours this year so far, so I'm heading towards my 2022 target fast. So what have we got next?
What's the story behind this one then?
That was Mick Ward, and he's building his time, but he's also doing it while eating breakfasts. And I forget where this was, but I've got to say the chopping board with the Lancaster on it looks very nice. Well, it's probably the table, isn't it? So that's Mick Ward's 2022 minutes heading towards breakfast. What else have we got? Got this one. This is Ricardo. I know he's in the comments somewhere. This is Ricardo Gnardis. And this looks like a really lovely view of somewhere warm and sunny down south. I can't remember particularly where Ricardo's
Italy.
from.
Definitely in Italy.
Definitely in Italy, but that looks lovely. So
definitely in Italy.
What else have we got?
That looks like a 172 called La Lena to me. L-E-N-A. I believe.
Yeah, Nick Allen's figured out Mick Ward's photo. It's 2022 calories.
How about this one?
This is Michael Pear. He sent in 3 photos. This particular one, he's in his air coupe at Lelystad. Looks like, and he's parked in front of some giant ice cream cone there. So
yeah. That's just like the 99 flakes. They stuff the air traffickers in the top of that.
Okay. I think that there might be 1 or 2 more photos left.
There are.
There are. Oh, this is Chris Winch. He said, after I fixed a mag issue, I managed a quick trip from Leon Solent to Popham with their top up with cheap fuel, 1.99 a litre. And he said another 45 minutes towards my 2022 total. So
I think Chris may well have exceeded his 2022 already. Actually, I believe. And
he's certainly doing plenty of flying. Yeah. This was Chris Ray. He said, I've done 8 new airfields, and I'm also heading towards my 2022 total fast.
Brilliant. And last but not least,
there we go. It's my own. I am so far. I've got 285 minutes. So I'm building away. But I've just moved this is my little RV3 at Wadswick, and it's now living over at Gamston Farm, which is the new home for it. So I'm hoping to do even more. So that's fun.
Excellent. Okay, so let's
awesome.
just have a quick run around before we move on to the next part. Philippe, what are your flying plans for the rest of the year?
Oh gosh, what aren't they? So obviously trying to hit up as many air shows and fly-ins as possible. So it's been a sad 2 years where we haven't really been able to get out and go out. So make the most of it this year and let's go out to the air shows. Aero Friedrichshafen is in 10 days now? So 27th, so maybe 13 days. So see if you can't get down to that one. I'm flying down in a Cirrus, an SR-22, and gonna hang out there all week. So hope to see everybody there. And then between the private flyer show and the Aero Expo and here in the UK, those are the biggies. And then the LAA
mini grassroots,
not rally.
No, it's a flying, not a rally.
Oops. So try to get out there as much as you can. That's certainly what I'm going to be doing. And then I have grand ambitions to land on a beach in Scotland, so I'm going to try to make that happen. And then the other goal I have for this summer is to land on a glacier in the Alps. I've wanted to do it for a decade, for 15 years. I learned to fly in just outside Geneva in Annemasse, a small little airstrip just outside Geneva in France. And you take off staring right at Mont Blanc, the tallest mountain in the Alpine range. And I've never landed on a glacier. So I'm going to do that this summer, mark my words. How about you guys?
Well, I'll just throw in there. Adam Twiddle says he suggests Barra for your beach, or Mark Sanders said Solace have a beach fly-in in July.
Yeah, well, that's going on the paper.
Yeah.
Good knowledge.
Yeah, what I'm interested because obviously your normal set of wings are a Cirrus, and obviously turbines are no good. So what might you take to your beach fly-in?
Well, Ed, you know my story. If I get this airplane before then, it's going to be the Savage Norden.
Ooh,
which I've been waiting for a year and a bit to get approved here in the UK. But otherwise, I'll pop in a Husky, I think.
Nice.
Yeah. Which isn't bad either. I'm not complaining, but I'd rather it be my own airplane, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dave, how about you?
Well, I've got one objective for this year, and that's to revalidate because my SEP rating expired a couple of years ago. I had a bit of a medical issue to get over, which I seem to have got over now. So that's my one objective for this year is to revalidate. And after that, whatever comes along.
Who knows? I'm sure we can make that happen somehow. Ed?
Oh, just to fly. Oh, I'm already managing to fly more than I did last year. Last year was a bit of a low for me in terms of hours, but things are notching up quite well. We did a Fly 2022 feature a couple of issues ago, and there is. I learned that there's a strip over in the east, and I forget what is it called. Dave might remember because we worked on the feature. Is it called East Church? Anyway, it's the home of. It's where flying originally began in the UK, and there's a little museum, but it's where the first British flight took place, and Orville and Wilbur Wright came to visit aviators at the time, and they flew there as well. And there's a little strip there, and apparently you can fly in, and so you can fly to the birthplace of aviation in the UK. So I think that would be really fun.
Got to do that and make a feature, haven't we?
Absolutely, I think that would be very cool.
Brilliant. Okay, the only thing not the only thing, but my main thing this year, I need to get to Venice. I've got to fly to Lido. It's just one of those things I've got to tick off. So, and that and some micro. I'm gonna have a go at the old weight shift microlight flying thing.
Amanda Stubbs says she's going to go for the Mac loop.
It'd be quite good to do it in something that can do sort of 350 knots or something, wouldn't it? But if you're going to go through, I remember us being at an airfield somewhere, and it was an airfield. I'm not going to name it, but there was an air show nearby, and one of the jets beat up the airfield, which was interesting and quite impressive to people there. And then a Cessna 150 tried to do the same, and it didn't look anywhere near it. So I can imagine sort of putting around the Mac loop in a Tomahawk or something is probably.
But it's okay now because obviously soon we're going to see Velis Electros going through the Mach loop.
That's true. You're not going to hear them, but we'll see them.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'll tell you what, Philippe, I'm going to put you back in your box. There you go.
Thank you.
Here, because it is time for fantasy.
Wow. No expense spared, is it, in terms of production value on this show?
High production values, I can tell you. That took at least half an hour to knock up. Probably
It's very good. It's time for Fancy Hangar, but this is the Bond edition. So pay attention, 007. Yes, that's right. Thanks to the suggestions of the Livestream Extra viewers, and if you're not familiar with Livestream Extra, that's the exclusive extra stream for Flyer Club members that happens on a Wednesday. We had the suggestion from Whiskey Alpha Pilot that we should pick our favourite aircraft from the James Bond movies. So who's first?
Well, I put myself first because I struggled a little bit with this. People who know me will know that I'm not much of a film-watching person.
Of course.
So whereas everyone was going, oh, I like the blah, blah, blah from blah, blah, blah film, I'm just sitting there going, what? And I have seen the occasional Bond film, but not that many of them. So I had to resort to a little bit of research. But I went for this. I went for the B-58 Hustler, first supersonic jet. And it was the description of it was that this was built in the days before stealth, and it wasn't kind of like you're not going to see me. It's like you're going to see me and hear me, but you're never going to catch me. And I reckon that appeared in. Is it You Only Die Twice or You Only Live Twice?
You Only Live Twice.
You Only Live Twice. There you go. It was in You Only Live Twice. A film.
You aren't a movie guy, eh?
I'm not a movie guy now. So that was my choice. B-58 Hustler. I reckon someone walks around the corner and bumps into that when they're visiting your fancy hangar. That's big kudos. So that's but I admit it's not my speciality film. So,
but that is quite a machine. Quite a machine. I'll have to watch You Only Live Twice, if only to see. I'm intrigued to see where the Hustler figures.
I might go and look it up on. Presumably, it'll be on YouTube or something.
I know it's definitely in the film. So.
I know it's definitely in the film, indeed. Yeah. Dave.
Well, my choice possibly isn't as glamorous as the Hustler, but I've chosen the Beechcraft C-45H Expediter, as they call it. The reason I like this is not only it's a nice classic looking aeroplane, but also there's a great scene where James Bond, in the form of Roger Moore, apparently gets out of the aeroplane, clambers across, puts his hand into the right-hand engine, pulls out a bunch of wires, stops that engine, and crawls over to the other side to try and do the same for the left-hand engine. And then one of his rivals, a chap called Gobinder, who's I ought to say both of these guys are stuntmen, he tries to have a wrestle with Bond and catch him, but of course he falls off, and Bond gets the girl, and they all parachute away, and it's all good. But I just think it's such a great stunt. And there is a making of the stunt YouTube film on YouTube where you can. I can put the link to that in the credits. Should you feel so inclined, the aircraft feature and scene feature in Octopussy, which is a 1983 movie with Roger Moore.
Wow.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Nice.
Ed, you're next because I guess Philippe goes last. It's tradition.
Philippe goes last. Yes. So there's a lot of good aeroplanes to pick from, but I think one that is really iconic with Bond was the Beech. So it's the same film as Dave's Beech appeared in, but it's the one that was in the opening sequence. It's the BD-5J. Yes, this little minx was. You might remember Bond is in I think he's in he might be in a Latin American country. You don't know, but anyway, he's looking for something super secret, and anyway, he's got this hidden in a horse trailer, and when he eventually has to get away from the bad guys, what turns out to be a fake horse. Kind of opens up, and this little BD-5 goes racing down. The wings fold, fold down, and he goes off. And there's and he evades various attempts to shoot him down, and it's a fantastic aerial sequence flown by a guy called Corky Fornov, and he's nearly shot down, but he avoids the missile by flying through the hangar. And they did this in the Bond film. They took a BD-5 and stuck it on a stick, and stuck that stick on a Jaguar, and a stuntman drove the Jaguar through the hangar at 75 miles an hour with Roger Moore in the cockpit of the BD-5. And I'm told if you watch if it's a while since I watched the film, but if you do watch the film, you can just about make out this Jaguar just racing through the hangar. And anyway, Bond flies successfully through the hangar. They try to close the doors to get to trap him, but actually all they succeed in doing is closing the doors, and the missile flies in and blows them all up. And he flies away, and in true Bond fashion, he runs out of fuel, lands on a road, taxis into a petrol station, and in that classic Roger Moore way says, "Fill her up, please." And the beginning credits roll, and it's just stunning. And when I was a kid, it's like that is a total jet that just totally gets you. It's a stunning thing.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
fantastic.
But I have to say, Philippe's choice is very cool too.
Okay,
well,
Philippe,
yeah, I'm looking at these comments, guys, and I don't know if I need to go. Ed's won.
Ed always wins.
People get carried away.
I don't know. I thought mine was pretty good. So I wanted to pick the Cessna 140, but only for nostalgia reasons, because I tried to buy one when I was 21 and didn't have the $14,000 that it cost at the time. And but I've actually gone with the AMC Matador Coupe, which is a car that in The Man with the Golden Gun, Scaramanga, the bad guy, he's driving this AMC in a little road scurvy with Bond, being chased by Bond and the Thai police, and then he pulls into a hangar and pops on these wings and manages to evade Bond in the scene. So Bond is left speechless. So that's my Bond fantasy aircraft. It never actually was a real airplane, so credit to you guys for picking airplanes that are real. But they tried to make it real, but then didn't make it real after an accident. So fantasy aircraft. That remains a fantasy.
But you're right. They took the bits from a Cessna 337 and attached it to the bits of a car. And that was not the best flying combination. And unfortunately, one of the stunt pilot did lose his life in the crash. So what you see there is a flying model. But it was a very cool sequence, because it's classic Bond, isn't it? Villain drives into hangar, something happens, and then next thing he escapes by having this cool flying car. So yeah. It's just a shame it's painted brown.
Well, that was the 70s, right? Brown was...
Yeah, it probably looked cool.
Brown's probably the most common colour for most of the UK GA fleet, actually.
That's it.
So that's I operating the pictures as I do here. I don't see any of the comments. So what have the comments been talking about then?
Okay, so people have. So Paul Sengupta says L39. I think that was in. That was in one of the Pierce Brosnan ones, wasn't it? I can't remember the name. Marcus Clark says Little Nelly. Martin Loosby says the Jetstar. That was in Goldfinger, wasn't it? Vulcan was in. Can't remember that one. But I remember the aeroplane. I can't remember the film. Help me out here.
Who knows?
That's it. Paul Kiddell says, I'm still upset about them blowing up the CB in Man with a Golden Gun. Very cool, interesting thing about the CB I read yesterday. Before they blew it up, which was sad, they were flying it and they kept saying, fly lower, fly lower. And the stunt pilot did that until he knocked one of the wingtip floats off on some trees. And the final scene, you see, they had to have Bond taxi up on this beach. They said, well, we can't taxi now because it's -1 float. So the iconic scene of him taxiing up and step taxiing straight onto the beach was because they couldn't come to a stop. And because this thing would fall over because they'd already knocked a float off it. So Marcus Clark says Bell 47 in the volcano. That's in Dr. No, isn't it?
What that film you didn't know, Ed, must
Sorry?
be the film that you
Thunderball, of course.
Thunderball.
Yes.
Yeah. The Vulcan.
Dave gets a Dave wins. Dan Smith says, what about the Drax Industries blimp, which were the Skyship Industries airships from the 1980s in A View to a Kill, I think it was. Keir Williams says, what about the PC-6 in GoldenEye or the Cessna 185 inflates on No Time to Die? Oh, nice modern choice there.
Yeah.
Pete's with me on the BD5. Oh, that's a cool choice. Dan's gone uber simple, but the hang glider that pops out of the boat when the boat goes over the waterfall, that's very cool. That's in Moonraker.
Someone says that Stuart Rue is the winner, but does anyone know what Stuart?
I don't know. Stuart Rue is the winner. Stuart, what did you say? You might have to help us out. Pete Bang Eddie says, good choice. Ed wins. Ed wins today. You can't beat this. Dan Smith, no, he's not called Corky Fornob. Corky Fornob. Steve at the LAA, making sure I got the LAA, not rally news. Correct. Nailed it.
I found Stuart's answer.
What is it? 747-400. Die another day. Of course, that is very iconic, and an aeroplane dear to Stuart's heart, no doubt. We've had that one. Whiskey Alpha Pilot, Ed wins. Thank you for suggesting the theme as well to Whiskey Alpha Pilot. Philippe, Linda Griffith, then slightly distracted, says, does Philippe fly a G or an N-Reg Husky?
It's an N-Reg. It's November Bravo Oscar November Delta.
Linda says, I happen to know Lyndon has a lime green with dark green trim Husky called Kermit. So
nice.
You can't miss that.
We'll have to meet up.
Yes. Ed wins, Ed wins, Ed again. Dave wins, Ed wins. Brown was the new beige.
Gosh, Ian, you and I better just go home.
What did Howard say? Flew his wheelchair down the chimney? What was that all about?
Oh, there's I forget which film it is, but Bond, the baddie tries to kidnap Bond in a remote control Jet Ranger, and Bond eventually gets control of the Jet Ranger and picks up the baddie who's sat in a wheelchair, weirdly flying this remote control Jet Ranger, and picks him up on the skid and drops him in a chimney, Bond style. And more, he flies away with some quip, which is very good.
Wow.
I can see you. Dan Smith, what about the jetpack? That's true. The Bell,
good point.
Bell Rocketdyne jetpack that opened one of the Sean Connery films. Again, I forget which one that was, but you'll have to help me out. There we go. So, David Eads. David, I can't ever remember there being a Sea Wind in a Bond film. Are you sure you're not thinking about the CB?
Howard's helped you out here.
There we go. For your eyes only, of course. Thank you, Howard. Yeah. Mikey's. When did Ed have time to watch all these films?
He wasn't reading airplane books, I think.
That's it. Yeah.
It's research for tonight.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, there we go. It's an Easter weekend. I'm sure somewhere on the telly, there's going to be a Bond film. So check it out.
I'm gonna have to watch some Bond films. So great. All right, we're 3 minutes over, so let's just have a quick run through. Thank you. So I guess we have to accept that Ed wins, and we will get some T-shirts made that will be for sale that will say something like Ed wins. Your suggestions for what we can have as a graphic, please, on those. And it's not Corky Fornall for sure. Okay, Dave, events. No Easter at Easter.
No Easter at Easter, but there are some other events. Sandown on Saturday, there's going to be a flying and spot landing competition. At Perth in Scotland, there's a Festival of Flight on Saturday. And at Falmere on Easter Monday, there's going to be a flying. Coming up beyond this, don't forget the GA Day at Duxford on the 23rd of April. Aero Friedrichshafen, 27th to the 29th of April. We'll be there bringing all those stories. And of course, there's Popham on the 30th of April and the 1st of May for the Microlight Trade Fair.
Is that a grassroots trade fair for the microlights, do you think?
I think at Popham, everything is grassroots.
It certainly is.
I like Popham. It's a great place.
Yep.
Right, I'm going to be Johnny quickly and say, if you're not a member of the Flyer Club, why not? Please help us out. Join. It's going to cost you 30 quid at the moment for the next year. It goes up in about 3 and a bit weeks' time. So great chance to save yourself some money. Please join. If you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, subscribe, click like, hit the bells and all that kind of stuff. Don't forget to follow Philippe Polman on what's your thing on Instagram, Philippe?
So it's Pilot Polman on Instagram, and you can follow Echelon Air also on Instagram. Echelon_Air.
Polman and Echelon Air on Instagram. Thank you very much.
Get some ideas.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everyone,
Thanks for having me,
watching.
guys.
Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Have a fantastic Easter, everybody. Fly safe, but fly lots. And on that basis, we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Thank you very much.
Fly safe, everyone.
Bye, guys.